Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well and you're having a good year so far. I actually planned a different video, but I do need some extra stuff for that, and it takes much more preparation, so I figured I would do this one first. So, if you don't know me in real life, then you might not know that I have chronic health issues and limitations that affect most things in my life, pretty much everything. I wasn't born with these disabilities. They came around my mid-20s. It's been a big learning curve to adapt and to adjust the way I do art to ensure that I still can create things. And I'm hoping that this video gives you some ideas and some tips on how to adjust how you can create things if you also have some limitations, just like I do. Tip number 1. Use mediums that are easier for you. So, as you can see in the background here, I'm using some watercolors, and the pressure that you need to apply is very minimal in watercolors. Especially if you're going for a nice loose style, something more abstract, this is a really good one if you struggle with grip strength, or if you find it difficult to hold a pen or pencil or a paintbrush hard, then this one's a really good one, and you can get really strong pigments from just dipping it a few times and spreading it on the paper, and voila, you've got something already from very minimal pressure. I also have some charcoal, and again, this stuff is brilliant if you can't do much pressure onto paper or you find it difficult to move your hand, because charcoal is so heavily pigmented already, you really don't need to press very hard at all. I'm actually demonstrating here. I'm doing very light motions with my hand. I'm barely putting any pressure on, and it's already making marks on the paper. It's brilliant. And you can get really nice tones and effects with just how you use charcoal, so it's really good stuff for if you find that kind of activity difficult. Tip number 2. Compression gloves and wrist guards. These are some things that I have been using very often at this point. I've been using these for a very few number of years now. Compression gloves, as you can see that I'm wearing, help reduce a little bit of pain in your hands. If you have repetitive strain injury, or you have chronic pain like I do, it just helps alleviate it just a little bit when you're drawing. And it also seems to steady my hand a little bit as well, if I need to do anything a bit more precise. And wrist guards like this one that I'm showing you here, they can also help with if you've got weaker muscles or weaker joints in your wrists. These can help steady you. They can give you a bit more security when you're moving your hand around. They also again help compress the joint and the muscle a little bit, so it does help with pain. And there's also things like foam grips you can get for pencils and crochet hooks. And there's all sorts of things out there online that can really help you use the tools more effectively and easier, and hopefully give you a head start in doing your hobbies again. Tip number 3. Practice patience with yourself. If you weren't born with your limits, like I wasn't, it can be very frustrating to adapt to do things differently, especially if you've been doing something for so long and all of a sudden it changes. It is a huge challenge, it really is. I've experienced it myself. It's not an easy thing. It took me years to figure out what I could do, and I was frustrated with my body for a long time, but it is a learning process, and it's something that you will adapt to over time and with practice. And being patient with yourself is one of the keys to that, because you need to give yourself time and patience and understanding to adjust to this new body, to adjust to this new level that you can do. And it will take some mental training as well as physical, but I think patience is one of the biggest things I've learned to try and do more of, because it's no good beating yourself up about not being able to do something anymore, because really that just makes you frustrated and upset, and it doesn't really help you move forward, it just makes you sad. So learning what your new limits are and adjusting things like your grip on a pencil or tools you can use without pain. These are all key things to the future of you understanding what you can do going forward. And it will take time, and that's okay. Patience is okay. Trust me when I say you will get there, because I've gotten there and I'm still learning how to get there. And it will get easier. It will get easier as you adapt. Just trust the process, as they say. Be patient with yourself. Be kind. Tip number 4. Comparison is the thief of joy. Now, this is 100% true, and it takes years of learning. In my experience, it took years of learning to really believe it myself. I was one of those artists who constantly compared myself to my peers. I remember doing it in school and in college and in university and then in the outside world too. But now I see we're all very different as artists, as creatives, as crafters, and just because I'm still developing my skill set and my style, it doesn't mean it's any less valid, it's just different to someone else's. Comparison is especially true as a disabled artist as well, because some days I can't create things, some days my condition is changeable, it's day-to-day different, and there are days where I can't hold a pencil or pick up a paintbrush because it hurts too much, or I'm just too exhausted to do that. And that's fine. It really is okay. It's fine to do things slowly and in ways that are just adapted to what I can do. And again, that's fine. It doesn't matter if I can't make things like a factory. I'm not a factory. I'm one person. I'm a disabled artist who can only do so much, and that's okay. I think social media makes us believe we're always doing something wrong if we don't do more, or we're not producing tons, or we're not feeding the algorithm with tons and tons and tons of work, because that's just the way social media is built. But if you're like me and you're someone who can't do things all the time, it can feel disheartening to see people leaps and bounds ahead of you and you're in the slow lane. But again, you're comparing yourself if you do that, and that's no good. We don't want to compare ourselves. We are an individual and we're going to do things our way, and that's fine. Your art journey, as we'll call it, is your own. And if you have limitations that other people don't have, you're going to find things more challenging. But that doesn't mean you're any less of an artist. It just means you're going to take your time and you're going to pace yourself and you'll do things a little differently, but you'll still get to the same destination. It's just going to take you longer, and there's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to compare yourself to able-bodied individuals or other disabled artists who are way ahead of you. You're your own artist, you're your own crafter, your own creator. You will just be doing you, and that's fine. I really hope that these bits of advice can help you adapt your own limitations and allow you to create things that you want to. And if you have any comments or tips and tricks of your own, please do share it in the comments box below. We'd always love to hear from you guys, because there might be something that I've left out, and we all need to learn from each other, and that's how we do things. So let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.